Oh, there we are. That is disco fries made, or disco chips. That is New Jersey's own iconic disco fries. Sensation. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing New Jersey's disco fries. We're in the mood for fries. That was terrible. Anyway, no worries. Who doesn't like chips and gravy or fries and gravy? Now, I'm sure someone's going to say they don't like it, but you know, back in the day, I loved chips and gravy after a night out. Absolutely loved it, and I'm sure there's people still love it to this day. Now, we are doing New Jersey's version of chips and gravy. It's called disco fries, and we're going to crack on and do it right now. Come on. We have already peeled some potatoes, and all we're going to do is we're going to take those little ends off there, but we don't want to take too much off. We're just trying to keep it square. And then we want to be coming in there, and we're going to make some proper chips, proper fries, even though they're not fried, they're air fried. But air fried or convection oven. Okay, so we've got this. We've got these to about this thickness. And we are going to, boom, square. And everybody shows you the perfect square chip. Just chip them. You know, it doesn't matter what they look like, as long as they're roughly the same size. Okay, there's our humongous pile of chips. Hey, don't forget we're having a good night out. We want some chips piled up. Water in a bowl. Here's a little tip for you. This is baking soda. Now, you don't have to do this in any way whatsoever. This is baking soda. And we're going to put about a teaspoon in there. We're going to throw our chips in there. We're going to let them be in there for about 5 or 6 minutes in that baking soda. And what's going to happen is the baking soda is going to start its work on the starches of the chips, and it's going to slowly break the starch down. Now, you really don't have to do this if you don't want. It is just my way. And all that starch is going to break down in there, and it's going to help us get a crispy chip. So we're going to soak this for about 6 minutes, and then we're going to drain it, rinse and drain, but it doesn't really matter about rinsing, just drain the thing. We want these chips as dry as possible for the next stage, so we're going to have to pat it dry with the kitchen towel. Now, if you wanted to actually make these chips really yellow, you could put a little bit of turmeric in here, let them swim around in the turmeric before we actually drain them. And the turmeric will actually stain the chip. And you will have yellow chips, like commercial chips. Okay, let's take some kitchen towel. Let's throw our chips in there, and let's give them a pat dry. Now, we're not expecting these to be completely dry, but give them a good going over. See if we can get most of that moisture off of those chips, fries, whatever you want to call them for this. We have these lovely, fairly dry chips. Fantastic. What we need to do is get some corn flour on these chips. Now, the easiest way to do this is to take a bag and throw some chips in there. We probably have to do it in 2 lots, I reckon. That'll do. And then we're going to take some corn flour, and I'm not going to say how much corn flour. I'm going in with a tablespoon. Let's see how we go with that. Close it up and give them a shaking up in there. Coat up your chips in that corn flour. Now I don't have a big bag, so I've got these small bags, so I'm going to use two, not to worry. In we go. Again, about a tablespoon. I'm going to give those a shaking. Season the chips in there. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of a shaky. Okay, and what's going to happen is potatoes are going to react with that salt. And they're going to release their moisture as this cooks, which is going to help with crispiness. Now for this recipe I'm using the HYSapientia air fryer. Now you could chuck all this in a chip basket if you so wish. We are probably going to go on the tray. There's those lovely chips there, look. With our seasoning. Well, a little bit of oil. It doesn't matter what oil you use. This is rice bran oil. Irrelevant. Coat your chips in your oil. Air fryer on. This has a chip setting actually, but basically the chip setting is 190 degrees at 20 minutes. So let's put that on, let it warm up, and then we're going to put those in there. Tray with parchment paper. Are we bothered that if they're on top of each other? Not really. The reason why, we are going to turn them. Will they stick? Oh yes they will. Okay, in the oven. Straight in there. Job done. Let it do its thing. We'll wash up and quickly make a gravy. Okay, we've had about 10 minutes of our 20 minutes, so we want to be taking these out of here and we're going to turn them over. Now, the easiest way to turn this over is to take that base parchment paper, drop them into there, put your baking paper back on there. Like that. Turn over your chips and put them back on that parchment paper. And let's shove that back in the oven. In the oven, let it carry on for 10 minutes and let's see what happens. Okay, while that's cooking in there, we need to be making up a gravy. So I want to go in there with a couple of tablespoons of butter. Start to melt your butter. You can make a very simple gravy with some butter and some flour. But you know, we want to elevate this just a little bit. But elevate it simply. We don't want to do anything too special, but we do want to go in there with some chopped onion, and we want to give that onion a little bit of sauteing in there with that butter. Want to go a bit in there with black pepper, get some black pepper in there, and a smidgen of salt, not much. Now the salt is going to bring out a little bit of moisture, but we don't want to use much because we're going to actually add a beef broth made out of powder, and it has salt content in. So we just want to soften up those onions in there. Doesn't matter if you brown them or anything like that. Nice whiz round. After you've had a little minute in there, a couple of tablespoons of flour, a little pinch of thyme. You don't need to do that, but it does put a little bit of flavour in our gravy. Cook out that rawness in there, look. Flame down a little bit. And this is gravy granules. In we go. And we're going to get a nice gravy. If it's too thick, add a little bit more water, thin it down. And that is a delicious gravy. That's flame off. Our gravy's made. One side. Same procedure, no messing around. Take that. Aim your chips towards your tray. Give it a little shake around. A little stir over. And they're going to go back in. Straight back on there. And in we go. We're going to up the time for another 8 minutes. We want to be getting these out of here, and we're going to rack them and stack them. Out they come. So we got those fantastic chips there, look. Clean it up a bit. We are stacking those on here. So on we go like that. Bit of cheese, bit of mozzarella, a little bit of cheddar. Bit of cheddar on there. Back in the oven. Now all we're doing now is melting the cheese all over the chips. Only going to take about 5 minutes, and then we get ready to serve up. Grab yourself some paper. We're going to make it look takeaway even though we're eating at home. So we got some paper going on there, look. Now we want to be lining out with some of that gravy on there. And here we go. Now that is a little bit hot. Look at that. Whoo-wee. And we take a little bit more gravy. Now I'm not going to go too much because I want the cheese on there. It's already sat in the gravy. And that is our disco chips. Or disco fries, New Jersey version right here. Look at those. Sensational. Now all you do is to season it up with whatever you want. If you want to put any more seasoning on there, do so. Oh, there we are. That is disco fries made, or disco chips. That is New Jersey's own iconic disco fries. Well, what does it taste like? I suppose it would taste better with a takeaway fork. But anyway, no worries, let's get stuck in. Oh, we got these great chips all matted together. Looky in here. All matted together with our mozzarella. Oh, look at that. Oh, they are steaming. Oh, my mouth's watering. Whew. Oh, they are steaming. Wow. The flavor combination of gravy, a nice gravy, and that cheese, sensational. Nice one, New Jersey. Look at that stringiness of all this mozzarella. Oh, oh wow. Oh, that you're gonna have to look at. That is just ridiculous. Look at that. Awesome. Oh, that is incredible. Hoo-wee, that is red hot. I've got to eat it. Oh, that is absolutely sensational, actually. You know, I absolutely love chips and gravy, you know, normally with a pie or whatever, but, you know, chips and gravy is never gonna miss with me. I love it. This elevates it to a completely different level. You know, you got that cheese in there with that gravy, all that melted mozzarella, a bit of cheddar. You got the gravy, you've got our chips. That is superb. That's like a mini meal in itself. Oh, I would be well happy with something like this after a good night out back in the day. Oh, would I? That is sensational. So we'll catch you in the next video.